Hello folks, we're heading north on 131 out of Three Rivers, Michigan, past the big axle plant, transmission plant right here, Jeep and other manufacturers. It's known as Driveline. Used to be Continental Can Company, Triple C, back in the day. They made all kinds of cans in there. Hundreds of millions of them over the years. And then it turned into a General Motors facility for years, and they moved, and now there's a multiple brand manufacturer in there. The transmission on this Jeep was made there, and the transmission in my 14 Trailhawk was made there. It's kind of interesting, but as we go, at least for us Jeep owners, as we go north right here, I'm going to get off here next turn and take a little look at a old restaurant and watering hole that we used to frequent back in the day. I haven't been past here in probably close to 35 years now. And we'll take a look at, there's an old red caboose that was associated with it. It used to, I think the name of the place was Johnny's. I don't know if it still is, but it's right up here on the left, and we'll pull in and see if that caboose is still here. Oh, no, it wasn't Johnny's, it was Frankie's. Frankie's, yeah, there's the caboose. Right back in there. Be right back. Yeah, there's the Frankie's caboose. As I remember, you can go inside here, and this is another room attached to the bar. I think you can go back in there like a little private area. But man, like I said, it's been over 35 years. The Frankie's caboose. Be right back. Okay, only 10 miles to Schoolcraft. Wow. And almost 18 to Kalamazoo. This is all brand new highway. This highway was installed last year, and for 2 years it was a mess going down through here. That's why I haven't been down here in a long time. You can take the back roads, which are beautiful, very nice. But yeah, they reconfigured this, the center, the median, I guess you could call it, and very smooth. It's like the Autobahn. It's das gut Autobahn. The thing is, though, this is only 55 miles an hour until you get up through Schoolcraft, and then it turns to 70. Fields off to the left and right until you get into the swampland. And it's one of the reasons the highway still goes through the center of Schoolcraft, is that it can't go around to the east because of the swamps, and around to the west it could go. There's a lot of farmland right there, and it would connect to this highway south of Schoolcraft. But every time they try to get something put through, and they just can't seem to get landowners to really budge or the money to do it. So for the next foreseeable future, the highway will continue as it has. There's a death site right there, terrible, right through Schoolcraft. And I'll be right back with you. Oh, before I pause, this is some bad weather through here in the winter. The wind blows from the west to the east, from, as we're looking here, from the left to the right, and just treacherous driving, especially up here on the flats and the prairie. You certainly need what I call weighted four-wheel drive, or not even try it at all. They close it sometimes, but anyways, just plan to stay off it if you can, and just think what the back roads would be like. And I'll be back in a minute. I'm just passing through the little area known as Moore's Park, past the taxidermy, so forth. little area, little farming community back in the day. Now it's just old homes here along the highway, valuable property. It's a beautiful little white place there, steep pitched roofs. Always loved that little place. Yep. Some more Sasquatch stuff. This is Michigan Avenue. We're about 20 miles south of Kalamazoo. And all along here you'll see businesses. This is little sand and gravel and actually peat and topsoil and so forth. Down here you can see a ready mix facility where they're mixing cement. All these little places in the last 12 to 15 years popping up along here. There's some of the old rubble from the highway piled up. Very interesting what this will look like in another 20 years. I'm thinking it'll be about half industrial. Train lines through here, east and west and north and south. Right up here in Schoolcraft. We're going right along north-south line, right there to the right of us, just below those high tension power lines. Coming up here on Muskrat Road, very famous Muskrat Road. A lot of stories about parties down there back in the day. Yeah, we'll cruise on up here towards Schoolcraft. Be right back with you. Okay, now we're on what's known as the Schoolcraft Prairie. You can see as far as you can see, almost as far as you can see, wide open fields. Okay, several thousand acres of them. That was original natural prairie grass back in the day. Now we just entered Kalamazoo County. This is farm supply over here, all the fertilizers and things that you need for farming. And then this facility up ahead here is a seed plant. You buy your seed for planting, seed corn, other crops, and so forth. And that's where that is taken care of. Very secure facility. Very secure facility. Has to be. That's where our food comes from those seeds. It's a big facility too. But anyways, all the prairie grass out here was natural, and just like out in in Kansas and so forth. And when the pioneers came here, they crossed that prairie grass, and now it has been plowed. It's been put to the plow many years ago in the 1830s, 1840s, and there still is a preserve of it left natural. It's off here to the west. Someday we'll go out there and take a little look at it. It's nicer in the summertime to check it out and see exactly what it looked like back in the day. We're approaching Schoolcraft right now, and also approaching up here on the left, famous B&G Glove Company and the Red Pole Barns, the largest tarp and glove distributor, retailer, they claim, in the United States. And right there they are, and those red buildings there on the left. Cars out there, B&G Glove. I've been doing business with them for 40 years. They got cheap gloves and socks and everything else in there. Old silo standing there by itself. There used to be a farm there when I was coming up. There was a nice big old farm here, farmhouse, outbuildings, the whole thing. Gone now. This part of the highway has not been done yet. It's slated now for coming up this year. There's more Sasquatch right there. Look at them all lined up. they're gonna repair this highway all the way through town and north of town, so this will be shut down to one lane coming up shortly, and it's going to take two or 2.5 years to complete it. So that being said, I'll be right back with you. Okay folks, I turned off here into town, into Schoolcraft, just to show you a couple of the old homes here, just take a little drive through town. This is the south side. We're going to turn around up here because I want to show you a place that we used to buy ice cream back in the 70s and so forth. It was a pretty cool little place. I'll be right back with you. Okay, we come along here, Robinson and Walnut Streets in Schoolcraft. Come up here to this little gray house with a red roof on the corner. This used to be where a family lived, and these big windows on the side was an ice cream shop. We used to come in here and get ice cream, milkshakes, everything. The parking lot used to be full all the time in the summertime. Really, really great times back in the 70s right there. Be right back. Now we're going to take a look here where President Bush, W as he was known, or the second Bush, he came here on a train to the old train depot here in Schoolcraft on a campaign, and with him was the vice president. There was and their wives, Mr. and Mrs. Cheney, President Bush and Laura, the governor of the state of Michigan, which at the time was Governor Engler, and his wife, and several other dignitaries and so forth and so on. And here is where they came. The little station is right over here yet. I'm just going to go across these tracks and show you what's left of it. See, it's right there. Schoolcraft, Michigan, a little train station, a little rail yard here. But there was more to it then, and this was some of this has been raised. Right back here, excuse me, in this area, right here were high storage tanks, and there were Secret Service on the top there with some soldiers, and there were ropes all around this area. I was standing just about back there where we turned around at, and the train pulled up, and kind of get here in another position here, and the train pulled up. The helicopters flew low coming from the east, and they flew low over the tracks, and then right behind them came the train at about 10 miles an hour and pulled right up. And at the old depot that was here, there was a different, this was a smaller one, there was a larger depot right there. They got out and got up on the podium, the stand. I was standing about right here. I was oh man, less than 40 feet from them, and listened to about a half-hour talk. This whole area was packed. You couldn't get in here at all. And then just as quick as they came, they got back on the train and down they went west out of town on their rail campaign. I'll never forget it. I do have photographs at home that I took with a one-use Fuji camera, and they didn't turn out too bad, but I wish it was a telephoto. Anyways, be right back. Okay, folks, we're continuing our little ride here through the south side of Schoolcraft. I'm going to go over to the to the west side here in just a second, and on my way home, look at this old barn right here. Yes, sir. The home right here that's on the corner, this used to be the Fost home. Kevin Fost used to live there, a friend of mine in high school. Cool old home. And the Flynn Ranch next door to that used to be the old doctor's home back in the day. And we'll take the corner. Next to the old doctor's home, right here, was the sanitarium. And this is the sanitarium right there. Here's the haunted house in town. That's the Hamlin Haunted House. One of our brick homes right here. Very, very nice places, right? Be right back. Okay, folks, so take a little turn up here. Down North Center Street, Schoolcraft, Michigan. Look at some of the older homes here from literally back in the late 1800s. The newer ones, some of these homes will date back in the 1850s. There's a beauty right there, right? I used to know the owner of this home. Yeah. I still know the owner that used to own this home. Right up here in the corner, we can look around here too at some of the other architecture, but right here in the corner, this was the dentist's home when I was in Schoolcraft. This was Dr. Fulton's. I went to school and graduated with his daughter. Yep. And right there on this back porch, see the door right there? Okay, that was his dentist office, and you could walk right in there and get everything taken care of. There were, of course, other homes along here back in the day that have been raised since. Now, this is the turnaround right up here on Clay Street. This is where the wagons used to come in here. This was the Grange, and the wagons would come in here with their loads of grain and so forth, and they would come up like this, and here was the turnaround. Here's one of the old barns right here still left. As you can see, I'm gonna get you a little better view of that. There you go. We'll see that a little different, but and here's where the wagons would just be lined up around this turnaround. You can see some of the homes that were here in the day, and we're witness to that. I used to know the fella that lived here. He became the principal of Schoolcraft High School. He was quite an athlete and a really nice guy, family man. He's still with us, successful man. That's where our principal lived, right there, when I was in high school. And now we'll go out the back side. And then over here to the south and around. See some of the older architecture along here. There. Real nice old home right here. That's quite a place. And we'll head back here into the east. Take a look at a couple of these places, right? Isn't that cool? Wood, brick, all brick. This is a historical home. You can see the little green marker on the front. And I don't know anything about that place, but it'd be fun to come down here and find out. And I will do that this summer. It gets a little bit warmer out. It's still just 34 degrees. right back. The building right there, straight ahead, used to be a Chevrolet dealership. Actually, it used to be Crum Chevrolet back in the day. My brother owns a 64 Chevy 2 that was purchased there, brand spanking new. But over here on the other corner, there used to be Churchill's gas station. It's gone now. But next to that is Mike's Barber Shop. And this is an old place. It used to be the post office years ago. Now there's a really, really great fella in there. His name is Mike, and that's his barber shop. Be right back. And so, folks, with that, getting your hair cut, little tour, dentist office. This town had it all, right? Cemetery right over there on the left. McDonald's on the right. Okay. Coming up here is another facility that is known lovingly for about the last 25 years as the Pimple on the Prairie. We're going to go up here and take a look at the Pimple on the Prairie. I'll be right back. Peekaboo, peekaboo. Okay, folks, right here next to Cole Crum Chevrolet, the new Chevrolet dealership that used to be downtown in the 50s and 60s, and the Wendy's, is the Pimple on the Prairie. Right there it is. Can you believe it? There it is. The Pimple on the Prairie. Be right back. You see, the Pimple on the Prairie is an indoor driving range for golf. You can go in there and hit the long balls and smack them against the back of the pimple. Be right back. Now, with all seriousness, folks, right behind the pimple is an area that is fantastic. Notice all the handicapped parking spots. Okay? There's a reason for that. Right here is the home of the Miracle League of Southwest Michigan. This is where kids that are suffering from different illnesses and handicaps and so forth can come and play baseball and other things. Here are the donors. We'll take a little look over here. Shaded areas. Take a look at the field a little closer. A lot of people donated. Concession stand, restrooms. And I use the term handicapped. That's not quite the term I think that should be used. Physically and mentally challenged. I'm handicapped. But they are certainly not that. This beautiful field. These kids, you can bet, have a hoot out here. Back here behind it is where you can go out and actually do a little range ball driving outdoors behind the pimple, right back here. And the tees are up here, and you can smack them to the north. Thought you'd like to see this. Be right back. We'll take a little walk here through the facilities play area here for the children. Oh, this inclusive playground has been designed, has been designated, designed as a product of excellence for meeting the best practices that promote inclusive play and recreation. I got it. It's completely wheelchair accessible. Over here as well. Really cool. Yeah. Very nice. This is spongy material. Man, my feet are sinking right into it. You could fall down on this and not get too many bruises. Of course, somebody my age, we fall down, I'm always worried about the bill I'll get for the damage to the ground. Worry about that. Now he slipped again. Look at that. Got to bring out the jackhammers and all that crushed cement. We got to dig that up and re-pour it. That's the way I feel sometimes when I've hit the ground. Man, I've taken a spill or two, let me tell you, and I wish I had this stuff to land on. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Especially that last one. That was bad. Slipped off my steps. 6 steps down to the ground on ice. Yeah, that hit my hip bad. And top of my thigh, the emergency room said that the doctor said that my injury was equal to taking a full blow swing with a baseball bat to my leg and hip. And he said not just once, but twice. And he says, and you walked away from it with no broken bones. But he said, Mr. Newhouse, you are going to be one black and blue and sore cat. And he was right. You should have seen what that looked like. And there was no hot tub for no amount of time that I could soak in and make that go away. It just took time and trying to work it out. And doggone that ice. Boy, you got to watch it. You slip, it can really hurt. That sure did. Yes, sir. Anyways, enough about my problems. I'll be right back. I used the term handicapped earlier. It's just something like I mentioned that we're brought up with in my age and time. I have a tag myself. I try to use it as little as possible. I try to walk as far as I can into the stores and so forth, and it's working okay, but sometimes I have to use it. I'm glad I have it. Thank you to the VA. And with that being said here, from the magic pimple on the prairie, north of Schoolcraft, Michigan, you're with Edward on my travels today. Thanks for putting up with me again. Thank you for subscribing and comments and so forth. I enjoy them. Thank you. I appreciate them. I appreciate you. Have a great day.